Today Mark's going to take you along for some fixing and maintenance on our homestead, as well as preparing for moving our meat chicks outside. If you're new, I'm Erica. My husband Mark and I and our 2 kids live fully off-grid in Canada. We try to live a healthy and self-sufficient lifestyle, and that's what we share about in our videos. So I hope you'll subscribe to our channel.
Alright, today we are going to be doing a coolant flush and replacement on our diesel generator. It's been having some issues, so there's a number of things I'm going to do to it, but we're going to start with the easiest, and that is to replace the coolant, which I don't think has ever been done.
I don't know if you can see that, but it looks a little cruddy in there. I don't think that's good. So we've been getting a low oil indicator on this generator, which prevents it from running. What I found was the temperature gauge is no longer working and the coolant level was quite low. So the engine was getting far too hot and causing the oil to thin. Alright, so there's the old coolant. We were definitely low on coolant and it's looking fairly murky, but honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
For the coolant flush, I'm using filtered water, and then I'll run the generator for about 10 minutes to knock out some of the crud, and then we'll drain it out and fill it with fresh coolant. You can see here just how murky that water is after the flush. While I'm running the generator for the flush, and also after the flush while I'm waiting for the generator to cool off before adding the fresh coolant, I took this opportunity to get some much needed maintenance and cleanup done around the shop and chicken run. There we go. This tree was growing inside the chicken run, and when the chicken run was built by the previous owners, they wrapped the chicken wire, part of it on the outside of the tree and part of it on the inside of the tree. So it needed to be removed to patch up a hole that it made in the chicken fencing when it fell down. Okay, probably hard to see on camera, but we've got a big hole here now. But this chicken wire doesn't really look that damaged, so I'll just wire it back together. Here I'm adding the new coolant, and it's now been a few days, and so far we've had no more problems with the generator overheating. And once that was done, I took a break and went for a walk with my family. Our meat birds are almost 4 weeks old now and will very soon be sent outside. They're currently still in the brooder, but once they're outside, they'll need bigger waterers and bigger feeders. We use the same bucket method with our laying hens, and it seems to work pretty good. They don't waste too much food, so pretty easy system. Just 4 holes drilled into the bucket, and then the feeder heads screw on to that. For water, we're using a bucket again,
and installing these nipple waterers. We're doing this because we want to try and reduce messes and reduce unnecessary work. This is certainly a much cleaner option than using the trough style waterers. So we're hoping that this will work smooth and be easier for us. We wanted to try this new watering system with the chicks before sending them out into the run. They've spent their entire life with the little trough waterers, so we wanted to see if they would actually take to the nipple waterers. So we caught each one of them and stuck their beaks in there and tried to get them to drink. But it seems like they don't like them. We've been monitoring for the last couple days, and they just want the trough waterers. So we might abandon this and give this waterer to our laying hens and give the meat birds the big trough waterer that the laying hens have been using.
I'm pretty happy with this build.
Yep.
The only thing left to do for the new chicken run is to finish the shelter. This is a temporary chicken run and a temporary shelter. I have plans to build a much nicer run and coop for both the meat birds and the laying hens in the future. So the goal with this chicken run and shelter is to keep it as primitive and simple as possible. For the shelter, I'm building a low, simple lean-to out of dead sticks and a little bit of paracord and a 10 by 12 tarp. I'll throw a little bit of straw underneath it. If the chicks are cold, they can dig into that a little bit, and that should work just fine for them.
Coming out in layers like this, because it gets compressed in layers. So you can just peel it apart. All done? Are you all done, or am I all done? Well, it'll be predators coming in to eat them. what happens.
Now we are all prepared to bring the meat chickens out here next week. Thank you so much for watching this video. We make a new video every week about our off-grid life, so I hope you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.